DJ and PK joining us right now is David Viveiros, Director of Championship Events at Black Desert. Riley Jensen sitting in for DJ. David, what a morning to join us, man. Have you been following all that's been going on? Because this is really crazy.
I woke up to it. I was like, wow, of all the days and mornings, that's great. I've never seen that before. I hope everything – I think he's back on the course.
He's playing,
already.
yeah. He just birdied his third hole. It was a par 4. Sank
wow.
a long putt.
Okay. Yeah, that started off pretty crazy, and I hope, obviously, the person that died that got hit by the shuttle bus.
Yeah.
And this was the kind of a result of the confusion that went on. But wow, that was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
David Viveiros, Director of Championship Events at Black Desert Resort. Can you believe it? We're only 5 months away before the PGA Tour returns to Utah. It's been a long, long time, and it's going to be at Black Desert. I've been down to Black Desert. It is quite a spectacular place. Hope to get down there soon again. Tell us what is going on to get the area, not just the course, but the area ready for the event, which I think is the first full week in October.
Yes. The dates of tournament week is October 7th to the 13th. Our team has been working hand in hand with city officials, county officials, state officials for the event, and we have a full-time staff of 10 already, and a total of 15 with 5 seasonal that are coming in from Southern California from the Farmers Insurance Open to assist us. And John Kubal, who's our operations director, who has incredible experience, who we've hired, has worked with the Tiger Woods Foundation and their events. He has been planning everything, the parking plan, the routes, and right now everything is going smoothly. Traffic is to be expected, but we've got our plan in place, and every parking location in the vicinity is going to be used. Tuacahn. Our sites will have room for probably about 4,000 cars to come to the event. So we're excited right now. We are knee deep into selling the tournament passes, especially to the Champions Club on the 18th green, the second and third floor, and our Greater Zion Club, which, by the way, PK, is all set for you and DJ.
Nice.
We have it for you. 2 seats there. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I've got you set up for the Basalt Club. On Wednesday, Champions Club to do your show. On Thursday at the Champions Club, and then Friday at the Greater Zion Club. If you want to come down, it's up to you. But we got it all set up for you.
What do you think the answer to that is? If I want to come down.
Yes.
The real question is, and this is just important at the professional events that I've been to, is where does DJ park his BMW and where does PK park his Mercedes? Because that's going to be really important that they have their own private parking spot. They're a little bit high maintenance that way.
Riley, we all know that they are VIPs.
Okay.
So
I just want to make sure that they have a place to go, and I don't want any interruptions like happened this morning for Scotty Scheffler, because it really ruffles their feathers.
Yeah, let's not talk more about that, Scotty Scheffler, because we don't want that happening. But DJ PK, they're and Riley, you're a VIP too, so we got your parking spots ready.
This is
don't worry
awesome.
about it. Just come down.
Okay.
And we really, really want your show down there, because we want people up here to see and hear from you guys what we've built. And I actually sent Jake Hatch our renderings for you guys to see, and you can share it to your listeners on your website or social media. But what we've built, what we've been told by the PGA Tour, is our build is the biggest build of any fall event on the PGA Tour starting this year. So it's incredible.
Well, you know I'm a golf guy, and I'm jacked for it. I mean, there's no question about it. I've been down there a couple of times. I was down there when the PGA person from Ponte Verde was there. I think it might have been when they were figuring out whether to make it a go or not. And I remember talking to him, and I talked with him for 2 days and went out on the course, and no one was there at that time. It was in the afternoon. And then the next day, he and Patrick Manning, they were the developer, were there scouting out where to put seats and stuff and trying to figure it all out. And this was a year ago, so they were already well into knee deep into making this thing happen, and now we're just a few months away. I mean, I couldn't be more excited. I think it's going to be just unbelievable. It's crazy to think about what has happened in our sports and, well, I'll say community, but in this case, I'll go state, obviously, since it's a few hours away. You know, when I first got here, it was the Jazz and then BYU Utah playing in the Mountain West. And now you look at it, we've got a soccer team, we've got the hockey team, we've got, first it was Pac-12, and now it's Big 12 with both of these teams, and then the golf coming. I mean, this state has just exploded sports-wise to levels that I didn't really see when I first moved here.
No, PK, I could not agree with you more. I mean, I've been in this state for 27 years doing sports business and college athletics, pro sports, and events, major events. And it really comes down to money. And I think the last 15 years is on the corporate side and the business side, the technology side. I mean, we just exploded with success. There are several companies in the northern Utah area and southern Utah that have just exploded that has allowed this to take place. That's really what's going on. But the PGA Tour coming is directly correlated with business success. This is one sport that will not exist if it wasn't for business sponsorships. That's what it comes down to. And we're grateful for that. We see that, and our company, Black Desert Resort and Reef Capital, we are very successful, but there are so many other sponsors that are coming in. We get calls daily for the sponsorships, the pro-ams, the Monday, the officials. So everything's being filled up, but there's still spots left. So please call in, go to our website, blackdesertevents.com, click on the PGA Tour link that takes you directly to our website, and then go explore the Champions Club, the hospitality experiences, the Greater Zion Club. You will not be disappointed. And when we built this as a team, we wanted to build it so that people from Utah, when they got down there, they were going to appreciate it. They're like, yes, this is our tour event. And that's what we've done. And I think come October, PK, they're going to love it.
David Viveiros, Director of Championship Events at Black Desert, joining us now. How many people do you think, do you anticipate the course being able to handle in terms of spectators?
10 to 12,000. That's the cap. 10 to 12,000. Anything more than that, we've been told by the PGA Tour and by city officials and county officials that it would be a complicating, challenging matter for us. But 10 to 12,000 is what we can handle per day. So we have, and it's open to the public on Wednesday, starting Wednesday for the official Pro-Am.
Yeah.
So unlike other tournaments that do 4 days that they're open, we're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But that's what we're expecting. And here's a great tidbit too, PK, and where the excitement's building. So I think it was May 8th. No, it was April 8th or 15th. Our director of volunteers, we've been collecting people who are interested in volunteering for the tour event. And we have a database of 2,500 of people who have, put their name down. And I think it was April 8th or 15th, we pressed one button, send out to this database. 16 hours later, we had to shut it down because we had 975 volunteers paid and registered. And now we've closed it, and we have 1,200 with like 300 of them being on the waiting list. Really? So that is an indicator, PK and Riley, that there's excitement just on the volunteer side. We can only imagine on the spectator side when we get closer.
The thing that I like, having been to many golf tours, I've been to the Waste Management. I have the Phoenix background. My wife's from Phoenix, so we go down. I mean, it's an absolute zoo, and this year it really blew up and got out of control. And I don't really get into it. Although I go as a credentialed guy and try to do some interviews. I interviewed Johnny Miller down there and Tony, and so it's a little bit different. So it's a combination of work, but it really is out of control in terms of the number of people. It's like for people like myself who want to go watch golf and aren't interested in getting drunk, that it's not really conducive. And I go to the Palm Springs because they do the 3 different courses and the crowds there are much smaller. I want to see golf, right? And so from that amount of people, if you have the opportunity to go, that it's not an overwhelming amount, that it's actually going to help you in your spectatorship, so to speak, to be able to watch the highest quality golf and not feel like you're smothered by a bunch of people and you're 20 people deep on every single shot.
No, you bring up a great point, PK. The course, designed and built by Tom Weiskopf, the legend, and who we all love. And actually, just last night at the City Council in Ivins, they just voted that our PGA tournament week is now Tom Weiskopf week.
Oh, nice.
To let you know.
Yeah.
So,
and he's deceased.
That's a great. Oh yeah, and Patrick Manning and Jared Lucero, who are the masterminds behind Black Desert Resort, they just loved working with Tom Weiskopf. He had a huge impact on them. But to your point, the course is built narrow, so we can't have the 25,000 people per day. And so what we did, this is where we brought in some other people that we've consulted with. We built a tournament that's based around VIP hospitality experiences. So our GA, I believe, we're only going to allow like 1,500 to 2,000 per day, but our VIP experiences is where it's at, where we want you to watch golf. And that's about 5,500 to 6,000 VIP experiences. And so it's a little different than your normal course that's so wide. And because of that, we want you to have a great golf hospitality experience and not just, for the masses. Now, we will have beer there, but it's going to be heavily looked at, so we don't have the experiences like, down south in Arizona with the waste management. So we get what you're saying, but we're going to offer that. It's going to be great, and it will be we think it's going to be a great experience for everybody, those who drink or don't drink.
Right. I mean, that's the Phoenix Open rep, is to party like there's no tomorrow. And so be it, and good for them. The People's Open, blah, blah, blah. And the gorgeous weather in the winter. People plan vacations around it here. You'll have gorgeous weather in the fall as far as that goes. Do you know, or when will you know, when the field will be nailed down?
The field, again, a great question. I think it's either open or will open in June. The players can start registering for the event. But to the meat of your question, like the named players, they usually don't register or announce until like a week, 2-3 weeks before the event. We are hearing some people who I'm not allowed to disclose who are interested in playing, and there are some good names. So we're expecting 2 to 4, maybe 6 really good name players. I'll tell you what we are hearing though from when we announced last June, when you were out there, when I saw you out there golfing with your wife.
Yeah.
Since last June, what we are hearing is almost from people that we talked to in northern Utah, southern Utah, potential spectators, sponsors. We're not initiating this conversation, but we're hearing there's almost this expectation that everyone wants Tony Finau to play in his backyard.
Right.
That is an overwhelming fact that we're hearing from the people in Utah.
No question.
That there's this anticipation that Tony's playing, right? And we can't answer that. We're like, yeah, we love him to play, and we're talking to him, but he's got bigger fish to fry right now. He's on tour playing and getting ready for the majors.
Yeah.
But the expectation, they overwhelming everyone 100%. Tony's playing, right? Well, yes, we would love him to play, but that's the expectation. They want Finau to play in his backyard. I think there will be some disappointment if he doesn't.
Yeah, and I think Mike Weir is going to come down.
Yes.
I talked to
How
him.
did you know that?
I talked to him.
You thought, yeah, he is coming down.
Yeah.
That's probably room for another interview and conversation with Patrick Manning. If you can hold off on that one, Mike Weir is playing. There is another individual, and there's a good reason for these two to be playing. But I'd like to reserve those questions for another interview with Patrick Manning.
Absolutely.
He's so big for the community. Patrick has done incredible stuff, and he's the one that actually lobbied the PGA Tour for those two to come play. And there's background story on it. One's a really cool background story. So if you can just reserve that question for a Patrick Manning interview, I think the people would love to hear what Patrick has to say about Mike Weir and the other player that's coming.
Okay, well, we'll have to get on it. I might have to text him here real soon to see him come on our air to tell us, because now you got me super intrigued, and I'm sure if I am, that the community would be, because this is a great golf state as far as that goes. I think it's just going to be absolutely spectacular. You know, and I've had multiple conversations with Patrick as far as what the entire development is going to be about. What's the level of progression there?
The resort, there's the resort itself, meaning the hotel, the conference center, the pro shop, and the three restaurants at the hotel site. All of that will be built except for one wing on the, I believe it's the south side of the structure. So we are going to be open at full, I think almost full capacity. I think 100 rooms less than what we wanted because of that one wing. There will be aspects of the full resort, like the family village, the water park area in the Boardwalk. That will not be completed until Q3 25 and Q1 26. That's when it's really going to be fully completed. But as Kelly Jensen, the Vice President of Tournament Business Affairs for the PGA Tour, said, last time he came, he looked around and said, well, doesn't matter to us. That ball is dropping on October 10th. So please get here. No matter what it looks like, it's dropping, and we're going to play the tournament.
David Viveiros, Director of Championship Events for Black Desert. Now, before we let you go, I'd be remiss in neglecting to talk about the LPGA, too. I mean, because I'm fired up for that, and that is a year from now. Give us a little update on that.
Oh, yeah. We are right now, we have initial renderings from John Coolball, our operations director, who's overseeing that aspect of the LPGA as well. And we're going to start breaking down our what it's going to look like, and then our packages, our sponsor packages. But we will be actively, as a team, approaching some sponsors. We have already received commitments from a handful of sponsors for the LPGA event next year. So it's the interest is there to just be behind the best women golfers in the world. And I love saying that phrase because I worked so hard to bring the LPGA here for so many years, and to have Patrick and Jared see that same vision and them, they are behind this. It's going to almost look like the same way we are with the PGA Tour, just a little additions here, a little subtractions there, but it's going to look great for the ladies. We are going to be all in for treating these ladies like queens when they get here. That's the whole goal. But we are looking forward to it, and the sponsorship interest is there, and we're signing them. And it's not gonna be a long time. It's gonna come quicker than we think. So it's only next year, this time period. Right. Next year is when the LPGA will take place.
Yep. David, thanks for your time this morning. Appreciate the update.
Thanks, Riley. Thanks, PK. Take care, guys.
All right. David Viveiros, Director of Championship Events at Black Desert Resort. Have you been down there, Riley?
I have. Actually, I'm not a great golfer. I feel like sometimes I'm over my skis. But it certainly is beautiful and picturesque and fun to be there.
Yeah, you feel like the Snow Canyon State Park. You feel like it's like right on top of you,
right?
With a huge red rock right there. And
it's beautiful.
It really is, and it's going to explode. It's going to explode, and some of the plans that Patrick Manning, who's the mastermind of all this, has, it's really going to be a game changer for the state. It's going to be most definitely a game changer for the area down there in southern Utah. It's going to be unlike anything that I think that certainly I've seen in this state, and I'm jacked about it. I'm really, really looking forward to being down there and covering it. And,
well, I mean, you're a VIP, it sounds like. And you get to park your car wherever you want to. You get to do whatever you want.
So I have to drive myself?
Well, excuse me, your driver.
My wife?
I forget. I forget that you and DJ have your own drivers.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun time, man. And I think the state, as Ryan Smith has said, people show up. I think they're going to show up for that, too. All right, stay with us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Get you caught up at the big story of the morning, Scotty Scheffler, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Guys. Dude,
Step back. Back up, or you
I'm back.
Step back.
I'm back. Guys.
What do we do?
I'm staying back.
Here's the thing. Right now, he's going to jail. Okay? He's going to jail, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. Period. There's nothing you can do about it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you have
First
a
of
question?
all, I'm media. I'm a reporter. Okay. So that's all.
That's fine.
I just want to make sure that's
okay. But you need to step back over here now.
No problem. You got it.
Okay.
That's Jeff Darlington, right?
From ESPN, yeah.
Wow, Jeff Darlington from ESPN, who was on scene. I guess he was either right behind Scotty Scheffler or whatever it might be.
Like walking feet away from him.
But he witnessed the whole thing. And the world's number one golfer, Scotty Scheffler, was arrested this morning by Louisville Metro Police after trying to drive into the entrance of Valhalla where they're playing the PGA. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. And he faces, Scheffler does, second-degree assault of a police officer, third-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding traffic signals from the officer directing traffic. And what had happened, it's a serious incident because there was some form of a fatal accident. And this was like 5:36 in the morning, so it's still dark. And Scheffler is in a traffic jam. He goes on the median, I guess, and after about 20 to 30 seconds, Scheffler rolled down his window to talk to the officer. The officer grabbed Scheffler's arm to pull him out of the vehicle, according to Darlington. The officer reached inside the vehicle to open the door, and once Scheffler was pulled out, he was pushed against the car and placed in cuffs. And then Scheffler turned to Darlington and said, "Can you help?" And Darlington was trying to do what he was trying to do, but the officer said, "You need to get out of the way. Right now he's going to jail, and there's nothing you can do about it." He cleaned that up grammatically. I think
there ain't nothing you can do about it, is what he used.
And Scheffler is, wow, what a golfer, man. He's won 4 of his last 5 starts, including the Masters. And that other one, I think he missed a short putt to go into overtime.
And the other tidbit Darlington added on TV later is that the officers, after essentially arresting Scheffler, turned to him and said, "Who did we just arrest?"
They did not know who Scotty Scheffler was. And if you're not into golf, how would you know? Although you could sort of put 2 and 2 together.
Well, he was in a car that's got the markings on it.
I think with having Bob Casper, on the show, I mean, puts things a little bit more into context. I mean, and I totally had forgotten about that. You know, I went down to Palm Springs to watch the tennis tournament down there in the spring.
Yeah.
Those guys all have their own cars. They have their own parking place. They have the place that they're pulling into.
Right.
Like, it would have been fairly obvious that this was a professional golfer.
You would think under the circumstances, you're not some random street somewhere. You're outside close to the entrance to the golf course. Yeah, I understand. And they do. They have their courtesy cars. I've been in parking lots as a credentialed member of the media. The thing that I always found funny is going to the Phoenix Open there in Scottsdale. Beautiful weather. They drive up in their courtesy car. They get out. They usually have some family with them. They get somebody to take their bags. And then while they go, you got people in the parking lot washing their cars.
Right.
The cars aren't dirty. but they're washing them. I mean, they really are treated like royalty that way. So you would think they would have been able to put 2 and 2 together. It would be interesting to see what happens because these are serious charges. He's out on the golf course right now playing, doing what he's going to do. He's going to contend. He's just that good. The world's number one golfer. And, what did he say? When he said, was it at the Masters? Was it going into Sunday when he said something like, I've already won because I've got Jesus or something along those lines? And so he's been very open about his faith. That's been somewhat of a discussion point this week with somebody else who's been open about his faith and other people taking shots. But I guess we're not supposed to talk about that or whatever. That's ridiculous to me. It's real with Harrison Butker of the Chiefs. And Scheffler has been out front with that. And his wife just had a baby 8 days ago, a son, I believe. Meredith is her name. So his lawyer has been out front talking about it. And Scheffler he's played 5 holes. He's 5 back. Xander Schauffele tees off at 12:38 p.m. our time. A guy named Mark Hubbard has been tearing it up. He is only 1 shot back. Alex Noren, -6. Tom Kim, who I was going to pick, and then I forgot. He's -6. And these are golfers that are out on the course right now. Thomas Dentry, Colin Morikawa, and also at 133, -6. And along with Sahith Theegala is Tony Finau. So he's 3 back, and he tees off at 133 this afternoon. McIlroy straight up 1 o'clock. He's 5 back. There's nothing like these 4 majors. I compare the 4 majors to the Super Bowl. And we know how the Super Bowl is a big deal. Now, obviously, the Super Bowl is a bigger deal because it's football, blah, blah, blah. But this is everybody and their dog involved with golf goes to these things 4 times a year. And they don't get as many as, obviously, the others. But these 4 are a massive, massive deal. So I'm going to be watching it throughout the weekend. It's raining a little bit there, 65 degrees. They're playing not in the best conditions, but they said they've done nothing to suspend it. They're just playing through it. So it's crazy. I don't think that it's anything like I've ever seen. Again, I can't come close to any imagining that equates to this. Now, you've got this going on. Everybody is going to social media looking at all this funny stuff. What have you seen, Yak, that has entertained you?
Oh, there's a playoff of the Johnny Cochran line from the O.J. Simpson trial. The glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. It says if he's next up on the tee, he must be set free. That's a pretty good one that somebody had out there. And there's the clip. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Other Guys?
Oh, yeah.
When he shoots Derek Jeter in the tunnel of Yankee Stadium. He's Yankee Clipper. He's stuck on desk duty because of it. They said this guy from the Louisville Metro Police Department is going to be this guy. That's his future. So, yeah, you've got a lot of hilarity.
Dude, that movie, I had no expectation for that. I could not stop laughing.
It's great.
When's the last time you desk popped, Jake?
PK's looking at us like, what are you two talking about?
He hadn't seen the movie.
I have not seen the movie.
I
knew the Jeter thing. Yeah, I've already seen that.
Yeah, it's a great movie, though.
Yeah,
it is a funny movie.
Will Ferrell does a really good job in his role.
And then the slow speed chase of OJ and the white Bronco. This is Scheffler driving. I guess one of the co-owners of the course went and got him.
Did he pay his bail?
I don't know did he have bail? I mean, there's a mugshot. I don't know. Is that a legitimate mugshot?
Yes, it is. It is absolutely. And there's
that an AI
there's
thing?
that former reporter from Kentucky who said that her whole job when she was on the desk was to go through mugshots. She said 99% of people never are changed out of what they're actually wearing when they take these shots.
In a jumpsuit?
And this guy's in.
Are we sure that's real?
It's been proliferated.
He had to change out of his clothes.
Yeah.
Now, he was just in shorts and all that.
Golf Digest official account put that out there, PK, and said this is the mugshot of Scotty Scheffler. So I would take that as pretty legitimate.
I hope they haven't been duped.
Yeah.
It does seem hard for me to believe.
They were the first one I saw that had it out there. It's Golf Digest official account.
He's listed on his mugshot as 6'3", 170.
He's not 170, is he?
That's what it says.
And they also have him as Middle Eastern descent as well. Like,
really?
yeah.
White, European, Middle Eastern.
That's him right there. He's up on the tee. Yeah. I mean, he was in shorts and a T-shirt because they leave clothes there, or they bring clothes and do their stuff there because they get there way early, as Bob Castor was telling us, because they do stretching. Obviously, they go to the range, they eat, they get themselves prepared physically and mentally. So he was there, 3 hours, 4 hours before. And if you played yesterday in the afternoon, then they flip it to you play in the morning today. If you played in the morning yesterday, you go in the afternoon today. And then they have the cut after everybody's done today. And then the times are based on your scores. The higher the scores, the earlier you go. Yeah.
I just can't even imagine. I can't imagine trying to golf. Like, it'd just be so weird to golf after that.
Well, and one of the co-owners of Valhalla Golf Club was the person that picked him up from the precinct and got him back to the course. This story has been nuts.
Yeah, it is. And it'll be interesting to see and hear what he has to say as far as, oh my gosh. There's, look at this one.
They can't really have T-shirts already made.
With him in the jumpsuit.
Oh, here's the thing. You can make T-shirts very quickly. You can order them. I'm sure there's already multiple online platforms that have.
No. People are wearing shirts.
Yeah, they're wearing shirts at the course. If
really?
This is real.
They turn that around.
There's a thing called,
okay.
it mocks a little bit. It's called PGA Tour.
Oh, is it TUOR
yeah,
one?
It's TUOR.
Yeah, they're a parody account.
Right. And they have two guys, one Scheffler in a do-rag, and the other one is Scheffler in the mugshot. But I still have my doubts that they made him change. But I guess we'll find out as far as that goes.
It will be fascinating to me to see his post-performance interview.
Right. Because he's going to have to answer questions about it.
Right. Like, what?
I think I see on social media, somebody asked Rory questions about the divorce. To me, that's off limits.
Yeah, that one's a little bit of a touchy subject. I wouldn't be touching that.
I don't delve into these guys' personal lives here. Unless it's a criminal thing. Now, and if I were Rory, I'm not talking about my divorce. That came out earlier in the week. Monday, was it? That's your personal lives, man. I only care about these guys as athletes. If they want to do that stuff, that's another story.
All right. This is a great tweet I literally just saw. Tim Kawakami out there in the Bay Area says this: Full Swing better be recording all of this for next season.
Ooh, that's an excellent
right.
point.
Right.
Yes. I've had dinner with Tim Kawakami. He used to work at the LA Times. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Full Swing. They might want to rush that into distribution.
They're going to want like a season, season 1, 2, 1.5, 2, whatever.
And charge a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Because if they've got, I don't know that they can have that. But I mean, they had cameras. Did you see Full Swing, Riley?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they had Tony at the old Provo airport flying. I think he had won the tournament in Detroit.
Correct, yes.
And
he'd won the back-to-back tournaments.
He had like 50 to 100 people of family were all waiting for him. It's the old They got a beautiful new airport. It's been a couple years open now. But the old one was like it was an old office or something. And the folks are all jammed in there. And they got Tony. They're interviewing him, and he's on this private little charter with his family. And then they cut to the family waiting for him in Provo, and then they've got him coming off. So, I mean, the point I'm making is they have cameras everywhere. I mean, I was fascinated by watching that season 1. Matthew Fitzpatrick won the U.S. Open, which I picked, by the way.
Of course you did.
I did. I got that one right.
I believe it.
And they got him, his family, in real live reaction to shots as it's happening. It was really sensational. If you hadn't had a chance to see it, see it. But that's pretty much the dominant aspect of what's going on. Denver gets walloped. Now they'll have Game 7 Sunday, Game 6 tonight, New York and Indiana. We'll see how that goes. And the Real Salt Lake, Pablo Mastroeni, joined us. Listen to him, man. He gives great interviews for sure. They are back at it tomorrow night, taking on Colorado at the stadium there in Sandy. All right, stay with us We'll wrap up the show, get you ready for a Jake and Ben next, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And it's all over almost here.
Don't go nowhere.
We'll wrap up the show here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. What a morning. Riley Jensen sitting in, mental health performance coach, offering up advice to Scotty Scheffler on what he needs to do today as he's out on the course.
I don't think he needed anything from me. He's doing just fine.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's still got a ways to go. This thing isn't over. I mean, he's teeing off right now. We've got it on ESPN Plus, and he's teeing off on, I think he's on his seventh hole, and it's looks like a tight par 4 that he's got to reach, and he's probably going to hit the fairway. Oh, he's pointing a little left. Oh, no, it came back. He's okay. Yeah. He pointed a little left there at the start, but he's on the left side of the fairway, and he's in great shape. But this is going to be a story.
He looks a little cleaned up from his picture this morning.
I still can't believe they got a mugshot. He was arrested this morning, if you haven't heard, in a real unfortunate traffic accident. The mugshot?
Yeah, you don't think it's real?
I have my doubts.
You have your doubts that it's real?
Yeah. Especially if someone who was a cop reporter in that very area, and she goes on and say 99% in these cases don't get into a jumpsuit for a mugshot. I've never been involved in a mugshot, so I don't know anything about it. But I can't believe that that's.
Who could we get on who could tell us a little more about that process?
I don't know.
We need an expert in mugshots.
Yeah, well, probably a law enforcement person. I know what you were thinking of, somebody who's had some trouble.
Right. That would be more fun.
That's not who I was thinking of.
Well, you would never like go to that kind of humor.
Yeah, I thought somebody who's involved in as an occupation and does that type of stuff.
I was thinking somebody who's maybe had a few.
I know you were. Yeah.
Because I'm a terrible person.
I agree.
I'd love coming in and taking.
You're going to be in Monday, right?
Yeah.
Because David James Snigeldorf III is also off on Monday. He's got a little long weekend that he's got planned with some buddies of his, and so
good for him.
Good for him, absolutely. So he'll have a good time and come back, and he'll be full of energy when he returns on Tuesday. And we will continue this. And I'm going to be watching. I would watch this tournament either way because it's a major. But now it's going to be really something. And the post-round press conference, I would imagine this post-conference press conference that Scotty Scheffler does, it's going to make not just the local news, but the national news. You know, like CBS News, NBC, ABC News. Dan Ruther doesn't do it anymore, but that type of stuff. Walter Cronkite, a guy who I trained under at Arizona State and has really much made me the phenomenal journalist that I am.
Shaped you.
Oh, yeah. Molded me, if you will.
Sculpted.
Yeah.
It's probably the best word.
Yeah. Sculpted?
Sculpted.
Yeah, because I am sculpted.
Right.
Yeah, so you got that common denominator there. So I imagine those folks are going to be involved in this because this is an unbelievable story, and hopefully it gets settled out to the best of everyone's ability here, and not forget that there's a tragedy involved, and that's what caused the incident in the first place. So stay with us. I'm sure Ben and Jake will continue the conversation into the noon hour when Tony Finau tees off. I think it's about 12:30, 12:40. See what he can do. Local guy. Everybody's pulling for him. We'll follow that, and then we'll get back on Monday and tell you what happened. Stay with us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.